Okay, I do believe I'm live. All right. Hi, everyone. It's Global Scholarships, and I'm your host. As I hope you're all doing well, I hope everything is going great. And today, as always, we are here. Well, I'm here right now with another weekly live stream, but pretty soon, Eamon will be joining me here as well. So, if you're new here, we do these live streams every Friday. This is a Q&A live stream for scholarships or in general like studying abroad, that type of subject, right? We are Global Scholarships. We have a YouTube channel, as you can see probably. We do have a TikTok account as well. We're not as active as we used to be, but we will start sharing more information, more shorts, more videos on TikTok as well pretty soon. So it's been quite a while there, but we're coming back to TikTok as well. So if you're new here, we're Global Scholarships. Basically, we're a platform uh, of which the sole aim is to like share as much information as possible about scholarships. This is not some sort of like marketing or something like that. We are not selling anything. This is basically a platform to share. As you can see, this is our website, which is completely free to use. There's no pricing. There's no hi there, Airproy. It's great to see you again here. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I hope you're also doing well. Eamon is also doing well. He's not here yet. He'll be joining us in about like 20 minutes or something because how this is a Q&A live stream, and I always kind of like get a little mad that like I kind of waste his time a little bit because like he comes in, it just sits there because there aren't that many questions in the first like 20 minutes. So this is a Q&A live stream. Just feel free to ask your questions, and we're gonna put them in like a question box. And when Eamon comes in, we're gonna just like fast fire them, and he can answer all of them for you. Scholarship for bachelor degree. My profile 7.5 IELTS and 9.6 CGPA in 2024. Hi there, Superhuman. Welcome to our live stream. We will talk about that as well. But first of all, like again, our expert Eamon will be here in about 20 minutes. He will join in like half an hour later than when our live stream starts. Meanwhile, I really highly advise you to use our free search tool to look for scholarships. I think your like IELTS and CGPA is quite good. You can apply to a lot of scholarships. Also, like, are you looking for scholarships right now, like that you can apply right now, or like in general for maybe next year? So like if we know your timetable, we can, for example, there are a lot of scholarships in a lot of different countries, but not all of them are available for application right now. So if you can give us more information about like whether you're looking for something that you can apply right now, or like in general, maybe you can apply next semester or something like that, that would really help. Other than that, go and search, see our search tool. Basically, you can filter these for your own specific situation, like degrees, location, funding type. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them. I will answer your questions as much as I can, but I will also ask them to Eamon when he comes, because here he's the real expert. He can give like very like deep analyses, so it's always better to ask him. I asked, is there any good scholarship for University of Auckland, both institutional and government? For context, I have already got accept. That's great. Just one. That's always great to hear. So we do have one government scholarship in Australia, but I don't think it's called Australia Award Scholarships. I'm not sure. I don't think it's available for bachelors though. So you didn't specify, if I remember correctly, you're looking for something that is for bachelors. So this is for masters. If you're looking for that, let's see. University of Auckland. I think we got some stuff. Though usually they will be like in Australia. There are. Wait. Oh yeah. Why did I? Why? Sorry. Why did I assume it's in Australia? Yeah. Hang on. So this is the University of Auckland. So let me share the page with you so you can get more information. So scholarships, let's see, it's kind of like structure of scholarships are kind of the same in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and United States. You usually have like kind of high tuition fees, but then you also get some scholarships. Not all of them are full funding though. So we have some full funding scholarships here, but usually they're for like graduate students, PhD, masters. So yeah, this is the Foreign Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is full funding, Manaki New Zealand scholarship. Let me share this with you. This is a really good scholarship. It's for bachelor's, master's, and PhD. Not every nationality though. That's the main drawback. Like Cambodia, Fiji, Indonesia, a lot of those. We have some eligible institutions, and if you're interested and if you're eligible for this, you can also look into these people. Like these are some people that has got this scholarship, and we kind of reached out to them to like tell their stories. And if you click on them to learn more, like for example, Shirley Gabriella, they're from Kenya. They give us their whole journey basically, like their educational background, like the scholarship they got, how they prepare for apply, like what advice would they give, what would they done differently if they were applying again. So also let me know if this like you're eligible for this. I'm not sure where you're from. I don't think we talked about that before. Other than that, we have one undergraduate scholarship that will give you about 10,000 New Zealand dollars. It's not open for application right now, but I guess maybe you can apply for this later. There might be other scholarships as well that I am not aware of. So I'm going to ask Eamon for that as well when he comes in, which is about, again, like 15-20 minutes. Sheldon says, hello, I'm following from Philippines. I'm Sheldon Ge. Welcome. I have a master in public health and want to do another master in emergency disaster management. That's great. That's a very specific question, like a very detailed picture of like your situation. But also, if you can give us like a question, what are you like? Are you interested in like looking for scholarships? If you're looking for a scholarship, or like, do you have any specific country in mind, perhaps? So like usually when we are asking Eamon questions, it's better to give as much detail as possible because like there might be something he knows about that specific situation. So yeah, for anyone or expert, will be here in about like 20 minutes. So like whatever you're asking right now, we're basically putting them in a question box. So whenever he comes in, we can just ask him the questions back to back, so we don't waste his time, we don't waste your time as well. So yeah, hang on, I'm flexible and looking for the major intake with which is 26 September. Thanks for addressing. You're very welcome. Any way we can help. Again, I'm actually just a host here. This is supposed to be like a chill bit of the live stream until Eamon comes, so your questions can accumulate. But when Eamon comes, we'll be able to find more and better answers. So let me just show you how to find scholarships yourself, because as I said, I'm just the host here, which means I'm quite a layman when it comes to scholarships. I don't know really much about those, and this is how I find scholarships to make content on, which clearly shows you it's a really good tool. First of all, it's completely free. You can just go to globalscholarships.com right now and start using our search tool. So if you have anything in mind, any country in mind, any scholarship, any institution, any program, subject, nationality, whatever, you can just type that in. Let's say Oxford, right? So you can just click here in the institution section, which will take you to that page, the page that we have for that university. Or let's say you're interested in Germany. Oh, hang on, Germany. You can choose that, which will show you the scholarships that we have in Germany. Yeah, or you can just hit enter to see all the scholarships, so you can filter yourself. Basically, let's say you are looking for bachelor, and that's pretty much it. You're flexible, right? So what you can do is here filter for bachelor. If you are looking for scholarships that are open for application right now, that would be a bit of a problem, because see, we have scholarship deadline currently open here. There are 47 scholarships for bachelors in our database. So basically we have like about 5,000 scholarships in our database, but these are all scholarships that are like offered from universities to new coming international students. Okay, so like if you're in your second year, these are not for you. But if you're in your second year, or maybe you're a domestic student, there are also other scholarships that are not on this list. This is just university scholarships for new coming international students. Okay, so we have about 4,000, 5,000 scholarships in our database, and only 47 are open for application for bachelors right now. And that's not so bad, like about 50, right? But not all of these are full funding. And I know for a fact that a lot of you are looking for full funding scholarships, especially when it comes to places like United States, Australia, Canada, Britain, New Zealand. So like places where tuitions are very high. So like in those places, if you don't have any, at least like a full tuition, full funding scholarships, it is really difficult to afford like a $40,000 tuition every year. So usually we're looking for full funding, which kind of makes sense. So if you don't know what full funding is or partial funding is, hello regular shorts, of course you are here. It's great to see you here as always. Basically partial, okay, full tuition means it covers the tuition and that's it. Partial funding means it covers less than tuition. Full funding means it covers the tuition and then it gives you something a little bit more, like accommodation, stipend, insurance sometimes. So that's what it means. Now, 47 is not very little, is not very few. Like this is a good number. But then if you filter for full funding, you have about 18. And these scholarships, these 18 scholarships, they're all in United States, I believe, except for one that is in Canada right now, in University of British Columbia. They're all pretty much in United States, so you can look into these. So there are not that many opportunities that is open for application right now. And basically, like if you're interested in any scholarship that you see here, you can just click on them to see, like go and see, like this is pretty much the page we have for any scholarship. Like you have level of study, institution, but like funding type, and then like deadlines and what it covers. Hi, okay. So yeah, a scholarship in Australia, Canada, America, and United Kingdom. So those are great places to study. And they usually have a lot of scholarships as well. But the problem with them is, again, if you don't find a full funding scholarship, you might end up having to pay about like, maybe you have a partial scholarship, which covers like 50%. You still might have to pay $20,000 every year just for tuition, and then you also have to pay like living costs, which can be again really high depending on where you live. Like if you're living in Toronto, in Canada, in United States, you're in like New York or San Francisco, or in Australia, a place like Sydney, Melbourne. So like very urban places, rents could be really high. So we're gonna look into those. As of this moment, these are open for application. And America is not as welcoming as it used to be. So we're going to look into those. We've made a ton of videos about those as well. If you're interested, like you might want to check out our YouTube channel. And the website says Skonging. I think that's what it is. My next scholarship, undergraduate scholarship in Asia region, is only open to Timor-Leste. Is it? Hang on, let me see. That's kind of odd. Opening bachelors only to just one nation. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Let's see. So, by the way, like if you go to our page website and find a scholarship, you go to our page, like see the coverage, eligibility criteria, etc., etc. See people, and you want to get more information about the institution or the university directly, you can just click on official scholarship page to go and see their page. Types of scholarships for undergraduate and postgraduate. So, okay. International scholarship or international tertiary students. Application is now closed and will reopen in 2026. Eligible countries. So these are the eligible countries. Eligible Pacific countries. I don't think that's actually correct. So like, these are citizens from eligible countries in the Pacific have 2 tertiary scholarship options. So these are level of study available. These are Pacific countries. And then we have eligible Asian countries. And can you send me the link where you found that information? Maybe we can look into that as well. But from what I can see here, it is open for like other nationalities as well. Eligible Asian countries. Hang on. Okay. Oh yeah. It's here it says. So yeah, other countries as well, but less only postgraduate diploma, master's degree, and PhD. Yeah, that's I see. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer, I guess. Few countries on this page. You can research scholarships from other New Zealand organizations. Hang on. I've never seen this before. So you might also want to look for this. Let's accept all nationality. Doesn't even have my nationality, by the way. Let's say available to all and search. Okay, so there are other scholarships as well. Maybe this might interest you. James Bond. So these are some scholarships that are available in New Zealand. A lot of these will not be on our website because it's not like we can't like get every single scholarship out there, and we are mainly looking for like what is the main ones that universities offer to new coming international students. So keep in mind that a lot of these might be just like for second year students. Maybe they have some specific criteria, like maybe a subject or nationality, etc. So are we missing anything? So yeah, Shelton, let's see about some of the countries you said, like let's say all funding, let's say not currently open. Now, first thing about United Kingdom is that United Kingdom is not as expensive as like United States when it comes to tuition. Usually it's like, hang on, why am I telling you instead of showing you? Let's choose United Kingdom. So these are the scholarships that we have in our database in United Kingdom for bachelors. And the first thing you will notice, taking a short look here, is a lot of these have like asylum seeker, sanctuary, like reach, those type like refugee. So a lot of the scholarships that you'll find in the United Kingdom will be like scholarships for kind of like displaced people. So keep that in mind. United Kingdom does not have a lot of scholarships, and it's not as expensive as United States. But if you don't have enough funds to be able to like cover your expenses yourself, United Kingdom will not be very helpful. There are some scholarships, but it's not that many. So, for example, let's look at. So this is, for example, it's a good scholarship. UCL Global Undergraduate Scholarship, right? So this is in University College London. First of all, the university is a great university, and we do have like an application tutorial. And as you can see, like tuition is about 20 to 30,000 pounds, which is not, again, not as expensive as it would be in the United States, considering UCL is like a top, like global top university. But still, it's quite a lot. You would need, like a lot of people would need financial help for this. So let's look at the scholarship. It is given to 33 people. It is not open for application right now. It's full funding. There are no specific nationalities. There are no specific subjects. And it covers your tuition fees. So all that 30,000 pounds, it's gone if you get this scholarship. It gives you a living stipend. Usually these are something between like something up to living. It usually doesn't cover your entire living expenses unless you're unbelievably frugal. Like I'm spending no dollars at all. Usually they will not, and like studying especially in London can be like living in London can be quite expensive. There are a lot of, my cousin is living in London, and there are a lot of like hidden expenses that you don't really realize before you start living there. Like you have to, like train is abnormally expensive. Like if you have a car, like you have to pay different fees in different places. Well, like London is expensive. Mentioning not the rent, by the way, and fixed allowance, additional cost, and as you can see, so this is only for 10 people, by the way, but there is about like 23. If you're Indian, I do believe some of these are, some of these like 23, some of these 33 is just for Indian students, I do believe. Let me see. There's somewhere, yeah, 3 scholarships covering full tuition specifically for students from India, right? So if you're from India, that gives you kind of an edge. So these are like, there are scholarships like this. These are usually very competitive. So yeah, United Kingdom can be expensive, does have some scholarships. You can just filter United Kingdom here. There are none that is open for application right now. And we also have made several several tutorial videos on how to apply to universities in United Kingdom. So you can look into those if you're interested in applying. Amber Hussein says, without SAT, do you think one can get in? Sorry. US colleges and secure scholarships like full ride. So, yeah, usually scholarships don't really look like, they don't really give much importance to SAT. They usually look at other things. They sometimes may consider SAT, but it's like SAT is usually for getting into the university, because without getting into the university, you cannot apply for the scholarship anyway. But that's a really good question. Let me see if I can get Eamon to join yet. So he should be joining in any minute now. Let me fire up Zoom so you can see if he's ready. I think he'll be ready in a couple of minutes at the very latest. Okay, it's not here yet, but I think he'll be here quite soon. Yes, I'm gonna ask that to Eamon when he comes in a couple of minutes, because he's the expert. I think he'll have better insights on that. So let's get on to our next country. What was it that you said? America. Now, America, as I said, you have some scholarships that are open for application right now. Now, United States, unfortunately, the main big problem is it's at this moment not at all very welcoming to international students. It used to be, but it's kind of not anymore because of the political climate. You can still go. Like schools are open for application, scholarships are open for application, and you have a lot of very good scholarships. And some might think maybe like since they're less welcoming right now, scholarships could be less competitive. That's an idea that might happen. So let's see, United States, we have we have almost like 20 full funding scholarships open for application right now. In United States, like there are a lot of scholarships, like thousands and thousands of scholarships, but usually they're full, they're partial tuition, partial funding, meaning it doesn't cover even the tuition, and usually tuitions are between like $30,000 and $60,000, and like usually very high quality education, like top ranking schools are about like 50, 60. But then even lesser, like lower ranked schools can also be like private schools can be very high, like 50, 60,000. One thing about the United States that I kind of like is that it's huge, which is why like there are a lot of different places. Uh, like for example, if you go and study in Texas, uh, living cost will be much, much, much less than say living in New York or like somewhere more urban. But of course, like in Texas, I'm not saying it will happen, but I'm saying like it's less metropolitan. You might have a higher chance of like facing maybe like let's say unwelcoming behaviors. Hi, Eamon. Welcome. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Um, I think you can hear me. I cannot hear you if you're talking now.
Oh, hello? Oh, I
Hello.
think you can hear me now. All right.
Yep, I can hear you right now. How are you? How are things? What's
I'm
going
doing
on?
well, thank you. How are you?
Okay, great. I'm doing well too. Thank you very much. We are doing great. We started our live stream, and there are a couple of questions that have already accumulated that I can't wait to ask you. So, are you ready for the
Yeah,
questions?
sure. Sure.
Okay, first is Superhuman saying, "Hello, scholarship for bachelor's degree. My profile is 7.5 IELTS and 9.6 CGPA in 2024. They're saying they're flexible and looking for the major intake, which is 26 September. Thanks for addressing." And let me see if they've said anything more than that. No, that's pretty much it. What advice would you give them? Like I talked about like how to find scholarships, etc., etc. But like usually when it's about some specific intake, I don't really know all that well. So yeah, what do you have?
Yeah, it's really like the only thing they can do is use the search tool because they haven't specified a specific country or a specific scholarship they're going for. And in order to narrow their choices down, they need to see what options they have and go from there. There's nothing much I can say about uh, scholarships for bachelors with this profile because I would say that any scholarship I can talk about would apply to them. So it's better if they see what options they have and what countries they can target,
Mhm.
and then narrow their choices down from there.
So what do you think about their like in general their profile? Like I think that's also was kind of a part of the question, like hidden part. Like they gave us information about their LTS and CGPA, and perhaps like they're looking for something about that. Like how likely do you think they will be able to get scholarships with that kind of profile?
I would assume that's a 9.6 CGPA on a scale of 10. That would be my assumption, but
Mhm.
they haven't specified. If
Yeah.
it's the case, then it's an excellent CGPA, and the IELTS score meets uh the minimum requirements of any university probably in the world. So they have a chance at getting any scholarship they want, provided that the rest of their application is good. That includes their letters of reference, their personal statement, any essay that the scholarship requires or the university requires. But just based on those two things, which are not um, really the whole picture when it comes to applying to scholarships. But if we just base our judgment on those two things, then they have great chances of getting scholarships.
Okay, thank you very much. So, um, James Bond, who is perhaps you remember is a regular of our channel. He's always in
Yeah.
our live streams. He says, "Hey, Az, is there any good scholarship for University of Auckland, both institutional and government? For context, I've already got acceptance." So I made a mistake and thought it was in Australia. They correct me.
Oh,
It's in New Zealand.
in New
We
Zealand.
looked
Mm-hmm.
into some of the scholarships, like in Auckland, for example, there is um, one partial funding scholarship in our database that covers about 10,000 New Zealand dollars. And also, I've told them about the government scholarship, Manaki scholarship.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we looked into that as well, but maybe you have something more. We also found I also found a page that hang on. So like when you look into available eligible countries, they also have this page. Where was it? If you're not like eligible for these, here's a page where you can see like scholarships from other New Zealand organizations. We looked into that as well. But I
Mm-hmm.
still wanted to ask you, like, perhaps there's something that you know of that you can suggest.
Yeah, well, something that I would like to point out is that after getting an acceptance, sometimes it's too late to apply for some scholarships because
Mhm.
you have to indicate your interest in some scholarships at the time of application, not after. So you could miss out on many scholarships if you get an acceptance before indicating that you need scholarships. And some awards really insist upon um, showing interest in the scholarship way before you apply to the university or at the time of applying. So there's that point. I think most universities in New Zealand have schemes that are region specific.
Mhm.
So you might want to look into that. Maybe we don't have all of them on our database, but if you look on their website, they're probably gonna have scholarships for specific countries in Asia, for specific countries in Africa, and so on. So that is something to always keep in mind. I think most universities in Australia and New Zealand have this kind of approach to scholarships where they have specific scholarships for specific reasons. Sometimes they're only accommodation scholarships, sometimes they're only tuition scholarships, it depending on the region as well. So maybe you want to look into those. Although I don't know again if you can apply to them after getting an acceptance or at the
Right.
time of application. So that's also something to consider.
Okay, thank you very much, Evan. So Shelton, I hope they are still here. Says, "Hello, I'm falling from the Philippines. I'm Shelton. I'm master in public health and want to do another master in emergency disaster management." And then we kind of like talked about the countries, perhaps like there's a country that they're interested in, and they said, "Yeah, a scholarship in Australia, Canada, America, and UK. I will really appreciate." That's pretty much what they've said. So from Philippines, they have a master in public health. want to do another in emergency disaster management, and pretty much those countries. They kind of like cluster of countries, I guess. So yeah, what do you have for this question?
Nothing much really. So I think the same thing applies of just looking for scholarships on the database. That's a good place to start. Uh, One thing to point out is that having a master's degree is uh sometimes doesn't work in your favor because scholarships sometimes say that you need to
Yeah,
not have uh a previous degree in the same or a similar uh subject. So you can find limitations there if you already have a degree, because sometimes scholarships are only for first time
yeah,
applications for a master's degree, for example. So having a master's degree can be a positive in terms of just background knowledge in terms of the subjects you're going to study, so you're going to struggle less. But at the same time, it's going to be a hindrance when it comes to searching for or for getting some scholarships. That is a consideration. Yeah, other than that, they're targeting English-speaking countries. Although we know that uh, most of them are not viable right now. The
yeah,
US is not a welcoming country to international students. Canada, there's a huge housing crisis. The UK has no scholarships whatsoever, and Australia is just not as good as it once was. So, uh, these are all countries where getting a scholarship is getting harder and harder each year.
yeah.
Uh, I would advise them to maybe add to the list some countries in Europe, some countries in Asia, not limit themselves to these
Mhm.
countries. But uh, if that's what they're going for, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say the same thing, but like waited for Eamon to come in. Also, like Shelton, if you're still here, and like for example, you have targeted English-speaking countries. Perhaps that's like you only know English, and like it is kind of like like you think it will be really difficult to learn another language enough to be able to study there. But for example, there are a lot of English taught universities, like English taught programs in other countries as well. We've been making videos about those, like in Japan, in Italy, in like a lot of countries, and especially like we are in like this, yeah, tomorrow. It should be either tomorrow or maybe Sunday. We're gonna share a video on like 5 best English taught universities in Germany. You can look into that, or like you can just go to our website right now and see the like actual guide for yourself and read it. And like for example, Germany is like, if you're looking for a master's degree, there are a lot of like English taught master's degrees available in Germany, and it will be quite like much more affordable in terms of like tuition. And I do believe kind of like, I wouldn't say it's more affordable in terms of living costs, but in Germany, the whole being afford being able to afford living cost is much more clear. Like they ask you to kind of like deposit a certain amount of money, and then like they are, I would say they're looking for more people who can come and at least afford to be able to study there. Like their main concern is that whereas when it comes to Australia and some like other countries, they look at it as more like exporting a service, so like uh, making money out of people who are coming into study. So yeah, like look into Germany. There are a lot of schools in Europe as well. Um, Usually you won't find a lot of scholarships in countries like Germany, but there are a few. And for example, in Italy, there are a lot of scholarships. They're not open for application right now, but there are some really good scholarships. Anyway, do you want to add anything to this, Eamon?
No, not really.
Okay, great. So I think we have just one more question. Abrar Hussein says, without SAT, do you think one can get in US colleges and secure scholarships like full ride? So I like talk about how it kind of like SAT more plays into whether you get in or get in the university or not. But perhaps you would like to give some more like deep detailed analysis about this. By the way, guys, like after these questions are over, since this is a Q&A live stream, we're gonna kind of like be looking into ending the live stream. So if you have like people who are here still, if you have any other questions, just feel free to ask them, and we'll just try to answer them. They followed up that question. I've done exchange here through YES program in the United States, have a good profile in volunteering, leadership, so much extracurriculars. Do you have some suggestions for me to apply to certain ones? So hang on. Ever are these questions related? For example, like should we take your second question in the context that you don't have an SAT, or like are those two completely kind of like separate questions? Anyway, Eamon, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the two questions uh, are kind of contradicted in a sense. Um, I'm not like if you have done an exchange year in the US, are you still looking to apply for an undergraduate degree? That would be my question. But to answer the first question, most universities and colleges in the US now are just optional. So the SAT is no longer something that is really important to include in your scholarship or university application. They give you the option of whether you want to include it or not. It all just depends on you. Um, it could help your application, of course, but it's not mandatory. So you can 100% get scholarships without having an SAT or ACT score. Uh, it's not a big consideration at the moment. Yeah, so you are applying uh, for an undergraduate degree. Um, for undergraduate degrees, I always say just look for universities that award automatic scholarships. And these are scholarships awarded at the time of admission just based on your GPA, sometimes based on your SAT, ACT score, and um, in rare occasions based on your language proficiency scores. I've seen a few colleges that award scholarships based on your IELTS or TOEFL scores, but there aren't many of those. The rest give scholarships based on your GPA, based on your SAT, ACT. And these are scholarships just awarded at the time of application. You don't have to apply for them. You just apply for the university. If you're admitted, you're given these scholarships. So just look for automatic scholarships uh, at US universities, and you should be good.
Okay, thank you very much, Eamon. All right, guys. By the way, this was what this is what I was talking about. Like, you can see this is cost of living index in Nambio. This is United States, and you can see how like in terms of how expensive it is, it can change a lot. For example, like New York is about like 100. If you live in like Los Angeles, it's like 80. While in like Dallas, it's about 66. Albuquerque would probably know if you watched Breaking Bad. So it's like 60. In Cincinnati. It can be like about less than 60 even. So yeah, like one kind of positive thing about United States is that like different places can be quite way more affordable than others. Like obviously that's something you'll also find in Europe as well. But since Europe is kind of like when it comes to, it's kind of more equal in a lot of places you'll find. So yeah. Anyway, guys, so this is pretty much it. If you don't have any other um, questions, we're gonna end the live stream here. Thank you very much for joining in here today. If you're watching this after the live stream on VOD, thank you very much for watching. And as always, of course, Eamon, thank you for joining in and answering our questions today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Okay, guys. So if you don't have any other questions, we'll be seeing you next Friday, as always, at the same day and same hour. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So see you. Have a nice week.